that's how me and Paul get introduced, and knowing that he's related to Hiram, so that kind of made it a little bit more familiar.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
jump. I'm talking about 20 years later, 25 years later. Hiram's doing these Prince and King parties, and so that's another vinyl-only record thing that was going on.
So, all right. So good, you're here. I get the in social media. I get the following of Prince and King.
Mm-hmm.
For us in the industry, we all know why Prince and King is important, because King Street is where the garage, Paradise Garage, was, right? Which was right off Prince Street. But then there was also King Street Records, right?
That came later on.
That came later on. Okay. So you're gonna give us some of the history. What I do want at this point, you guys just take the mic and see if you can pull the mic towards you a little bit more, or come up closer to the mic. Okay. Yeah, just the fact that we've gotten some internet issues.
Okay.
Yeah. Get as close as possible, so that people can hear you well. People are listening, and they love to hear it. So
we're supposed to have a guest next week, but it's not confirmed. This whole internet thing is really bothering me right now. I'm trying to see what we could do, but it's actually the internet is down in the building completely. Oh, wow. So it doesn't look like it's going to come back up. So worst scenario, would you guys be able to come back next week too? I know it's pushing it, but
check schedule for you.
I checked it.
Either next week or the week after that. But those are I got next week and the week after that is open. But
we are live. So I just I got a text.
The 29th,
so they do hear it.
29th
so
is good.
Yeah. Right on the radio.
We're here. Right. They're no, I think that's a great question.
The online is dead.
Yeah,
they're getting replays.
Yeah. If we've got our listeners, tell us how you're listening. Tell us how you hear us. If you see us, just so we can get some feedback, so we can work with what we got and try to give you the best show that we can here.
Well, you're still recording it
here tonight. It's still being recorded, but nevertheless, man, that's the thing about this business and technology, right? And you know what? The show must go on, right? We do the best we can, right? Like when you're on a gig, you got two speakers and one breaks.
You improvise.
You improvise and
you keep
push.
moving forward, man.
Talking about speakers, I'll tell you a little story. This was also 1986. Timmy Regisfer, a club area.
Yeah, back downtown.
He was playing it so loud. He blew one of the monitors. It caught fire. You were there too.
Oh,
it caught fire, bro. And then they had to turn on the house lights. Fire department came for about 40 minutes. Took it off, but the party continued.
Awesome.
And those were Sunday parties. It was just, pumping a monitor.
So you collector, the cousins / brothers, or the brothers / cousins. Yes. And Joey, you did spin?
Yes. Yeah. When we were at Downtown Records, I was playing at a few strange clubs at the time, Peter Rabbit's for a while.
Yeah, I remember
the Underground.
You spun, and it was vinyl,
always vinyl back then.
Yeah.
I kind of dropped out of the scene after the Friends parties in 1990. I got married and kind of just left music altogether.
All right, we want to keep people happy. Okay. So
got married, left the scene.
For 15 years.
Oh, sorry.
I think you for 15 years.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So,
had a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Talk about vinyl, right? People don't talk about our kids.
And I didn't sell the vinyl, so which was good.
We're back.
There is one more person with us here in spirit. And his name is Albert Marrero.
Yep, you know what?
We were rest in peace.
We were there. You go. And I was just gonna mention. I was just gonna tell you.
Yeah, I want to give Elliot Venegas a shout out.
Yeah,
I spoke to him today earlier.
Excellent,
Elliot. He's in great spirits. Yeah, and he's doing.
We're gonna go,
well.
Elliot, dude. I'm gonna go visit you soon, bro. Yeah, I'm getting jealous. I see Jason hanging out with you, man.
I was busting his chops yesterday. I was busting his chops.
So Jason hanging out with you, and I'm like, what? Está bien, está por ahí. Anyway, again, so ladies and gentlemen, here at the MixLab,
we're back for now. But right now, guys, for you guys who are tuning in right now, thank you for tuning into the MixLab. It's Jason Rios with Lefty Hernandez. We're in the studio right now, Arranged Music, Joe Gomez, and we're chatting it up right now about, we're going behind the scenes, the front of the scenes. We're talking about the music back then, how these guys developed from just hanging out in clubs and how they got connected to the music industry. and what they're doing today. So stay tuned in, guys. If we do go off, this will be aired tomorrow, and we will have to come back again.
Yep. All right, and we still, that's it, man. So we got a great show. We are talking about the fact that Joey, Hiram, and Paul, to this day, big collectors of vinyl, and the parts that they played with vinyl records, and in this world today, everything is digital, right? The sound.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm glad that you did mention. You beat me to the punch, because back then, Frankie Ramos, who we talked about last week, was his anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And another amazing player who was so loved was Albert Marrero, and Albert was so amazing to the very end. Such a happy spirit, so positive, so great, and so knowledgeable.
Yes.
That man was a walking music. He was a walking music encyclopedia, man.
And I gotta admit, I mean, even when he was going through his bad times, he still walked into a place with a smile on his face.
No, he always
gave you that hug,
Yeah, he never really. And I know him again. So I came into Downtown Records. So I don't know if you know that Frankie hired me at Downtown Records as well too, right? And I went in there to buy records. And I ended up, getting a job, which is amazing. And all that to say that, see, the people that are listening, right? So they see a lot of names in this industry, but it's always about like how did it all start, right? Or how, you never know. Even listen, the Temptations, Motown, all those people, right? They all started just these little small, gatherings and things like that, and it turns out to be a big history maker. Downtown Records was one of those places, and I want to say that Albert, in there too, is where I met Tony Moran, who also worked at Downtown Records. Yeah. Okay, in there too was Albert Cabrera, that worked at Downtown Records. Later on, he came at the later stores. Tony Touch, right? He worked at. Once we went uptown. 20, there was, and you guys remind me, because 23rd Street and 6th Avenue, then there was above 24th Street and 6th Avenue, and then we moved around the corner to 25th Street and 7th Avenue.
You guys weren't paying your rent.
We at one time we had the 119 Ward Street.
Right.
We had the one in Sunset Park. I don't remember the address, but it wasn't really a record shop.
Right.
But we brought records there.
Yeah.
I
don't remember that.
26th and 6th.
Yeah.
And then we had 125th Street shop.
I remember that, but I don't remember being there or ever going. I don't think I did.
What was great about that, the power of buying from 4 stores at the time gave us that whole, we're competing with rock and soul price now.
Yeah.
So that $249 or $299 record,
that made a difference.
I can't say that price today. But
I know, right?
It's funny how if you went into a record store and the record store said $299, and then you went somewhere else that said $249, or even if it said $279, you jumped. That 20 cents made a difference.
Absolutely,
because at that time most people went and bought 5-10 records. So
bought a lot of
$2
vinyl
here and there.
Yeah, it definitely, and we were and everybody, and I was saying earlier before you guys came here, the fact that not only were all the DJs coming in to buy the records, but the truth was your regular people who were going to work, the secretaries, the executives, and they were coming into the shops with their ties, with their suits, with their, and they were running in, and they would tell you, I ain't got a lot of time. They come in with whatever. I ain't got a lot of time. I'm looking for this record, and and I need this, and whatever, for whatever reason, if they they party this, that, and the other, and they knew to find it and if they didn't find it there, these guys, Joe is like, I'll have it for you tomorrow. I'll have it for you. Frankie, they were great that way. It was never we don't have. It was never that. It was like you need it. We ain't got it right now. I'm going to get it for you. Albert was like that, too. He was gun-ho. Yeah. Oh, my God.
He would have a stock for everyone. Everyone's taste.
Yeah.
Everyone's, whatever genre they were into.
Yeah.
Albert would have a stack for them behind the counter, and if they walked in that day, he was just...
Hi, good to see you. Yeah.
Hand it right to them.
As soon as they walked in.
And this is what you're looking for. And
that's it. As soon as they walked in.
And Hiram always had the habit of writing stuff on the record. So the other day we went in the basement, we got a little emotional because he pulled out a couple of records, and some was signed by Albert, and he wrote,
Wow,
gave him to me by Albert in 19 whatever.
that's amazing.
84,
Yeah,
85.
listen, people.
That was wild.
People are
Turned them on.
nostalgic, and also, like collectors. Like we see it on TV all the time. The program, The Pawn Shop. It's all about collectors' items, right?
Yeah.
And and so
It means something.
it means a lot, man. And this is a thing. Like your music is everyone grows up on music, and it means something to them. You hear a song, and they were going through. It's a part of their life, something that brings them back to a specific point in their life.
That's
So
why a
it's
lot of people like the classics.
yeah, very emotional, very organic. So this is exciting, man. The record shops. I was working the imports back, and so all these records are coming in, and so I had the habit of all the new stuff, and being a DJ, I wanted to make sure I had my copies. So I'd get a copy and I'd stack them up, but I couldn't. I had to take care of the customers. So I used to do that all weekend long. I come in on a Monday one day, and I go, and my stack is gone. Who took my records?
Wow.
Where are my records? And Joey's like, "You're here to sell records, bro. You're not." Joey's like,
I knew that was coming.
Joey's like,
This is
bro,
Lefty's stash.
bro,
Let me
this,
hide this.
no, but it was also the records, customers first, okay, and you're holding like someone's looking for a copy, and we tell them we ain't got a copy, and you got it behind in your stack, so and then another time, Frankie was like, I went to go buy the records, and he said, no, you can't. I said, why? He says, because you're here to make money. He says, it's a job, and these people, so all that to say, these guys at the time, you're like, man, you want to punch them upside their head, but they cared for you, man. They looked out for you. These guys are awesome that way, man.
While we're back online, I noticed a lot of people are talking. They making comments. Guys, if you want to call in and ask these brothers any questions, feel free to call in 212-650-6903. Rhythm, can you put the phone number on the chat, please? 212-650-6903.
That's awesome. So yeah, and for all our listeners, if you hear us, we are having some IT issues, and so it's not us, it's from the building that we are broadcasting from. Overall, they're doing an overall a reboot, right? So
yeah,
so it happens to be on this day.
Well, it was supposed to happen at 8:00 when we finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tú sabes.
Well, anyway, well, he's got the chancleta. He brought the chancleta, so you know what? Chancleta lo que hay. Yeah. So guys, but nevertheless, it's great to have you guys here. And I was telling Jason and some of the guests that we have, and it's all because of everybody's got something unique. Yeah, something that they bring to the table, and in your guys' case, is vinyl. So, where are we at today? How are you guys selling records? I know that we're doing it online.
Yes.
But how are people looking? How are they finding the songs? How are you getting the calls or the requests?
Do you have a store online? Like
Tell,
an online
tell us
store?
about that.
Oh,
Yes, we do, and I'll plug it now. It's rangemusicnyc.com, and
You got that, people?
I'll say it again. No,
Yeah. Range. Say it again.
rangemusicnyc.com, and they can see the covers of the records. They can listen to little snippets of the
Oh,
records.
nice.
And it's actually categorized. It's a work in progress.
Oh, there's a call coming in too. Range. Go ahead. Well, we get the call. Range Music
NYC.
NYC.com.
Yes.
All right, and we've got callers,
Yeah,
listeners.
who's on
calling
the
in.
air?
Yeah, who's on the air? This is a gentleman.
I can hear her.
He's one of your brothers.
Yeah.
See if you can recognize his voice.
Anybody can recognize that voice.
Yeah.
What's up,
Yo, you know who's on the phone?
I'm gonna hold off on the
Better known as
chancletazo for him.
DJ Easy. I'm so happy to see all my brothers in the same room discussing history, because in that room right
Come
now
closer.
is incredible musical history.
Thank you, brother.
People have no idea. You guys are just spitting out the tiny bit of what you guys have locked in your brain. So I'm loving the show. What's up, Jason? Lefty, my boy Paul.
I gotta come see you, man. Yo, you're
calling you from a hospital bed.
That's amazing.
He certainly is, yeah.
Yo, Evie, and because you were there, and so we last week we shared, and today how happy we are that you are on the road to some full recovery. We're very, very happy to hear you today.
Thank you, brother.
And because of that, today you are crowned DJ Squeaky McQueen.
DJ Squeaky McQueen.
DJ Squeaky McQueen. No, clean Squeaky McQueen. There you go.
That's it.
Just having fun, brother. But
continue with the show, guys. I'm enjoying it. I just wanted to say what's up to everybody, and keep rocking with that history, man. I'm loving it.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. You know what? And for the people,
and Jason, thank you for what you do.
Awesome, bro. That's great, brother.
If it wasn't for guys like you, we would have.
Awesome. And then you collaborated with Lefty, which just upped the game a little more, and I love it. I just love it. So just
it's exciting, right? Okay. No te pongas a llorar. No llores.
Jason's lady, Rhythm. Big shout out to her.
Yeah.
Rhythm, thank you for having us, Rhythm.
Awesome, man.
Elliot, now that you're on the phone, tell them the little story how we met when we were at Bank of New York. This is over 30 years ago.
Oh, God, yeah. Check this out. So I worked in the department, Master Trust, Master Custody. So somebody knew me, and they knew what kind of music I was into, so they talked to Paul about me. They say, hey, there's a guy working in Master Trust, blah, blah, blah. He's into that music also, the garage law, blah, blah. So Paul comes down, and we meet. So now we're talking about music, and then I'm telling him, yeah, I'm looking for this record, man, but I don't know the name. So I start singing the music, and you know how hard it is to sing instruments. So I'm just singing, and he looks at me. He goes, oh, that's Booker T and the MGs. I go, oh, yeah, really? He goes, yeah, that's a classic, blah, blah, blah. At that time, it was hard to get.
Wow.
With the next day, this man came, me not knowing Paul from a hole in the wall. He came the next day with a vinyl copy, of Booker T and the MGs, Melting Pot.
Sealed.
Handed it to me, and I was like, oh, my God, yo, how much I owe you? He goes, you don't owe me nothing. Yo, since that day, we became the best of friends. And now I don't consider Paul, Hiram, or even Joe, or any of you guys my friends. I consider you guys my brothers. So that's how me and Paul met.
Is that the phone line?
That's our love story.
Yep.
Bring up this phone. Oh, that's
the power of music that connects the people.
Yeah, man.
So
absolutely.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Thanks, Evie. And I want to share with the people and let them know, too, that you're an awesome DJ. I know you a long time as well. And the fact that you're excited is because of the history that we all share. And you're a great part of it, and you know it. I mean, like, yeah, I you remember when they were naming King Street, Larry Levan Way?
Yeah.
That was 21,000 people. And so who I'm hanging out with, I'm hanging with. How many? Yeah, 2014. The year. But it was 21,000 people showed up that day. 23,000.
23,000.
Yeah, and Evie and I were two of them. We were hanging out together, right?
Yeah. At the end, we actually went out at the end, and we had some dinner at a little diner there.
Yeah, no. Do you remember what the diner was? I forgot. Do you remember what it was?
No, I don't even know.
What was it?
Not
those Howard Johnsons. What was that? Something like that. What are those? The pancake House of Pancake IHOP. That's what it was.
They
were on back then.
They were on 7th Avenue. Yeah, they were there, bro.
They were.
Yeah,
but we went there, and we had some food there before we wrapped it up and went our separate ways. But
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, man.
But that's another show. That's a show about cuisine.
And let me just say something. Like I don't do vinyl no more, which I wish I never got rid of my vinyl. But let me tell you that Range Music NYC, that is the site, they have the most amazing tracks. And Joe Gomez, when he plays out, you have to go out and listen to this guy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
He'll take you on a crazy journey.
That's awesome.
The last time you were playing.
On vinyl.
Amazing.
On vinyl.
I didn't want to leave.
On vinyl.
All on vinyl.
That's amazing.
Joe tells me, next time when we do another party, he goes, you got to get down with vinyl. And I'm down because I love vinyl. You know me a lot of years. I had nothing but vinyl.
Yeah. But, what was the club we used to spin at? Do you remember? Speakeasy.
That was Speakeasy.
Speakeasy on Bay Street, and it was all vinyl, man. And the CDs were just starting to come in.
I had my sound system in that place.
Yeah, that's why it sounded so great.
I had a big system back in the day.
You did, brother.
Now I'm down to little studio speakers and a controller.
But it's all good, though. We hang in there.
Well, Elliot, we want to thank you for calling in, brother.
Keep this show rolling.
And you got to take care of yourself, you hear me?
Yo, my brothers, Peace and elbow grease. I'm locked in. I'm still listening.
DJ Squeaky Clean McLean. Squeaky McLean.
I'm out. DJ Squeaky out.
All right.
All right,
Thank
Pete.
you so much for accepting my call and having me on the air.
All right,
Okay,
brother.
brother.
Love
Good.
you, bro.
Take care.
All right. Awesome, man. So so here you go. And so we were talking about just that, right? So today, how do people get their hands on the vinyls, and where are the tracks coming from? So bring us up to speed, because today's world, it's an oversaturation. There's a lot of music, right? But so how do people decide, how do things get to press?
Are you guys like another like Beatport track source but just vinyl?
No, because Beatport and TrackSource are like the Spotify, which is the big thing.
The digital outlets.
Artists aren't getting paid for their music,
Yeah.
Right.
and believe it or not, certain artists make more money selling, and it's a lot more limited. 1,000 copies, 500 copies of a vinyl release
Right.
will make them more money than a million
Yeah.
streams. Or
I
whatever.
know, it's so
basically
sad.
what you're doing, you're taking orders and you're sending out vinyl.
No, there is still, in the United States, we lost vinyl. We gave it away to Japan and to Europe and everywhere else.
So you have to import it back in?
That's what's
Everything's-
coming on. It's all imports now.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you kidding?
85 to 90% are imports. So like West End, Prelude, Salsoul, they sold all of their catalog to people in Germany.
So then we're talking represses.
There's a lot of represses and a lot of new mixes, like you said, for example, you have Salsoul Orchestra. There's the original versions, which are collectible,
Right.
represses on color vinyl, and then there are remixes by, people who are famous now, and they're getting paid
Right.
to do a remix on a classic record.
Right.
So
It gets a little confusing, but Hiram, you had something to add to that.
What Joe was saying, the vinyl is really not here no more. It's overseas.
Right.
This is something David Mancuso said 40 years ago.
Which was?
They'll come here, listen, buy vinyl, and all basically Germany, Japan, Great Britain, a lot of pressing plants are over there.
Wow.
And Joe was up at 5 a.m. dealing with distributors, Germany,
Because
Japan.
because of the
Yeah, the
time
time
the time schedule.
Yeah.
So to get them on the phone. Yeah. I worked at RMM Records, Ralph Mercado, when he had the record label, and our vinyl presser was Disc Maker. Yeah. So, and I think they're still around.
this speaker, there are very
There-
few, and
yeah.
there are more
But-
homegrown labels.
Yeah,
now.
they're
So
pushing. Yeah.
You've got Sophisticato in Chicago. You got NDATL in Atlanta. You've got Mr. Clausel with his Sacred Rhythm here in New York.
Here in New York,
Right.
Brooklyn, right?
Independent
Oh,
labels.
Brooklyn, yeah.
But what I was trying to find out is like, for example, I go to your store. I go to your Range Music, New York City.com, NYC.com.
The website.
I see a song that I want to get. I purchase it. Do I get a digital copy of that, or do I get the vinyl sent to me?
You get the physical copy.
You get to, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And
all right.
and
No
it's
digital,
important, and I'm glad you said that, because that's the importance of the difference. Like, it's not like you have like you're not TrackSource, and then you're not Beatport. Those are digital
Right, exactly.
distributors.
Right.
And you could just simply you put your credit card and you click and download it right onto your computer, and you got the song. You guys are actually mailing out a physical copy, which
Yeah, that's
also
what we needed to know.
which
Yeah.
also and it's also for you guys the additional cost of doing that, because people aren't doing that. So there was a surge of vinyl coming back, and like you said too, the generations today, and I do see it. A lot of young people are excited about our music. They're excited about the vinyl.
Vinyl, yep.
But it does get confusing, because for you guys to find the top hits, where they are, they're being produced here, and people overseas. There's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of homegrown stuff. So how do you?
It's kind of like repeating history. When I did Downtown Records,
Mm-hmm.
remember we had Downstairs, Rock and Soul, Vinyl Mania,
Mhm.
and us were the 4 top
Mm-hmm.
places. Distributors that were bringing in imports used to dictate what everybody took. So
Right.
1979, 1980, Importo Disc, Important,
Yeah.
Caroline. There was about a dozen or so import record distributors.
Yeah.
And they'd say, oh, this is the new records. They send you a box, send us the money, COD,
Yeah, right.
UPS. I started hearing junk, So I used to tell them, no, play me the records on the phone.
Oh yeah.
And
Wow.
that's what I'll listen to.
Well, for them, it's all about sales, right? So that's why
They didn't care. They just sent it out.
Yeah. I worked. Yeah.
So I heard, for example, like Situation Yazoo was a B-side of a 45 because I used to tell them, flip it over, let me hear the other side.
Amazing. So things that you think of, right? Most people don't think of that, but it's true.
Downtown Records, we had Yazoo Situation on a 7-inch
Right.
for about 6 months before the 12-inch came out. And then we were selling copies to Rock and Soul, Downstairs,
It's amazing.
Vinyl Mania.
Right.
And who walks in? You got Bobby he was working at Warner Brothers at the time.
Bobby Shaw?
Bobby Shaw.
Bobby Shaw, yeah.
And he buys a copy. And the next thing you know, Francois K does the remix. And that's
there you-
where Downtown was very influential in
Yep.
making this kind of music.
Yep.
I do the same thing now. They send you small snippets in email. So there's about 500, 600 emails a morning that I'm going through with my cup of coffee and just
you're
listening.
screening.
2 beats. No, it's no good. Oh, let me put that to the side. And
How do you distinguish a good record today from? And you guys chime in because you guys,
Yes.
definitely the history, because when it comes to Range Music NYC, you guys are a part of that too. So you're selling records as well, right? Hiram and Paul, right?
Yep.
So how do you guys know? So you're doing most of the screening, or do you all share?
yeah, I mean, the fact of the history of music that was played in the clubs that they have the foundation of is basically what did we sell at Downtown? Why did it become the hits? And then the same thing listening to the music today. Does it sound like something we would play back then? And like I said, there's a younger generation buying this music because vinyl listening bars are opening up. So you got the place in Dante's Hi-Fi in Miami,
Yeah.
right? You have that going on. You've got Eavesdrop that I do a monthly at here in Brooklyn. Well, down in Brooklyn. There's a bunch of places opening up in the meatpacking district that are vinyl listening places now. So vinyl has been surging in sales, thank goodness. But there's also this I guess nostalgia to go back to hearing the pure sound of records on hi-fi systems. Trying to remember the guy that's downtown where the record shop is in the basement.
Or where the
There's
train?
a new spot.
Oh, a new spot.
The one that you played a couple
amazing.
of weeks ago.
Yeah,
that one?
it's got like this
Beautiful.
super JBL, sound system, and people have seats like you're in an auditorium, and you're listening to like either Spinner or someone play records, but
Really?
just vinyl.
Right. That's
And
awesome.
it's that
amazing.
kind of culture going on. Mixtape is the record shop that's in the basement, and All Blues is the name of the vinyl listening place. It's down in Chinatown. Eavesdrop is in Greenpoint. You've got all these number of places opening. Mescaline. What's the place in Williamsburg you played
On
at?
Grant Street, the one he played a couple of weeks
In
ago.
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg is popping,
Yes.
and
Williamsburg,
with spots.
They say there's about 200 listening vinyl bars, restaurants in New York City.
That's amazing. That's information that most people don't know.
Keeps it going. Yeah.
You know what I see a lot now on Facebook, and I agree with it. That if you never played on vinyl, if you don't
I
play
love
on
that.
vinyl,
I love that shirt.
you're not a DJ.
Everybody's a DJ until you put a pair of
exactly.
these. Yeah.
But let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
I
My
love
best,
that. That's
my
a
best
great
days was
shirt.
when I used to play with vinyl.
Yo,
But I've been playing with digital so long now, and
used to
I
it.
went on to play. I was messing around in my studio,
Yeah.
and I started, putting on my vinyl, and not for nothing, man, I suck. It's been a while.
It's like
But after a little
You
while, I
gotta
started
practice.
catching
Get
up.
it
I started
back,
getting
yeah.
beat matching again. I was like, well, I guess if I put a little bit more time into it, I'll get it.
it's a skill, man. People don't
Yeah.
realize that. Today you got oversaturation of DJs, but the technology, half the DJs are just simply turning on the sync button.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hate to say it, but it's true. But the thing with vinyl was there's a skill to it, right? And the thing that a lot of people, you guys know and can define it and break it down, but what the difference was that those recordings were analog, right?
Yes.
And so
analog,
so why don't you guys tell the listeners what that means? Because a recording that was analog to a recording that's digital, and we'll all back each other up because there's several factors. But so what's the difference? You the collector, bro.
You get the
you the collector.
the full sound of it.
You got to remember, a stylus is a microphone.
There you go. Okay.
Once you put it on a piece of vinyl, it depends. Depends the quality of the stylus, the needle. In some cases, you'll hear crystal clear mid bass, lows, highs. On digital, everything is flat.
Right.
Everything is recorded. How do you say the input volume? Yeah,
so it's compressed. It's all compressed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So you're talking about the sound quality of the analog, the recording.
It's much louder.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny it's funny you say that, because the reason they invented the 12-inch record was because they were able to have a wider when cutting the record. They were able to have a wider groove. By having a wider groove, they were able to to input more frequencies, more information into that groove, and the biggest frequency was the bass. Was to bring out that bass, that kick, So that's part of what the difference in understanding analog, right? And the recordings back then were. So if you and I had a recording session tonight and we went in and we had dinner and we had a couple of beers and we recorded and we put it on tape, and then we said, all right, we'll finish tomorrow. We come back, and then we came back and picked up where we left off, but we didn't have a couple of beers this time, and today we're feeling a little different and we're recording. Today's recording and yesterday's recording pretty much didn't match, or the beats were, or the tempo or the pitch. So all that stuff takes into account. All that to say that when you're mixing vinyl, when you're DJing live and that's on the recording, where the record starts at 120 beats per minute, and a minute later it's up to 128.
The drummer.
You as the DJ, and right, Jason does it all the time. When he's mixing at the end, you got to know when to hold, how to mix, when to push, when to pull, when to pitch, when to drag. It's a skills like art, man. So amazing, listeners. Range Music NYC. ¿Qué tú dices? Talk. Who's there? Who's on the phone?
Somebody just called me my phone, but I put the number on the chat. Guys, call in 212-650-6903.
Oh yeah, the number's behind me. I can't see it. I should know it by heart, but anyway. So yes, we've got the. Is that the phone? I thought I saw it.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is. There you go.
There you go.
I thought I was, going
okay,
cuckoo.
This is the MixLab. Who's speaking?
Yes. Hi. Good evening, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Yes, and thanks for this information.
What's your name?
I'm Beverly. Yes, I'm also a part of the star.
Awesome,
Hey,
Beverly. Hi.
And I hear you saying David. Is that the same David to be at the law?
That's the
Yes,
one and only.
That is correct.
He and my brother used to party there. And I have so many vinyls that, a lot of DJs be telling me I want to buy it. They don't have fingerprints because my brother knows how to, put the prints on.
Right?
But
How to hold a record.
Yes, it's amazing. My mother used to cook Thanksgiving dinner for David at the law. And my brother used to come
history,
home with all these food.
That's awesome. That is so, Beverly. That is a great story, man.
Do you remember what location it was? Because they have several locations.
I think it was
Prince
99.
99 Prince. Okay.
99. That's right.
Excellent.
That's the original, right?
Yeah.
99 Prince. You're on your phone? Are you calling us in?
Yes, I am.
We are grateful. While you're with us on the phone, I'm just going to ask you, only because we're having some technical issues, so I'm going to ask all our callers to just speak up a little bit more on the phone so that our listeners can hear what you guys are saying, because we get some feedback and everybody wants to hear what you got to say. Now, you say you're a part of the station too?
Yes. Tina Dixon.
There you go.
Angela. I was just over there today.
Oh, okay.
Awesome, man.
Virginia Cotton. So I'm really enjoying. This is the first time I think that I've actually got into this on a Tuesday, but I will be listening to it more.
Awesome, thank you.
We are so grateful to hear that. Thank you so much. That is
And
awesome.
I'm older. I'm one of the seasoned people. I'm a little older than you all. But
I think we all share the same season, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like seasoned collard greens.
There you go. But
Amen.
that is so awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, these guys are from Range Music, and we all share history and being DJs. And back in the day, and the Loft was a big part of our history, and you with your brother there too. So definitely the great places to be. David Mancuso, yes, you are right. The one and only David Mancuso in the Loft.
Now he mentioned about the E24.
Yeah.
Will I be able to get that if I go Range Music? Because I done already pulled up.
I love
yes.
it. Oh, you are so the best, man.
You have an option. You can get the original that they came out with a 40 or 50-year anniversary copy of, and that's on the website. And then there's a newer remix also called E2 E4 with Manuel Goching as the influence. So yeah, you can either
So that was called E34.
E2.
E4. It's same title, but there's the original, which was an anniversary release that they did a couple of years back, and now this newer version that's out.
And awesome. And so so you see we have it up. So it's Range. You said you pulled up the website. You're already on board. You ain't wasting no time, right?
And I wouldn't have had none of this information.
Wow, thank you.
I'll add it on
Thank
to the
you to
Jason
Jason and Lefty. So,
You all are like a blessing. Thank you.
Thank
No,
Thank
you
so
are.
much.
Thank you so much. You know what? And we're so happy you tuned in with us. And what we want to ask is that the experience you had here today with us, that you share that with people and listeners, and let them know that this is a great place for everyone to tune in and to have the same wonderful, valuable experience that you just shared with us. Thank you so much.
I definitely will. And I will be Tina Dixon and Fire Close.
You are so awesome. And
Thank
keep
you
us
so
informed
much.
too with what you got going on, and we'll make
I
sure to spread the love. Okay.
So thank you so much and have a blessed evening.
God
You
bless
too.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for calling.
Blessings.
Okay.
Awesome. That was awesome. See, this is what we're about. This is what we love, man.
a
So
lot of people they're not really connected, so that's how they find out.
and that's why Jason, when he asked me to be a part of this,
That's
I said I'll
wonderful,
think
yes.
about it, and then I counted to 3, and I said I'm in. So yeah, because of that, these things are what's missing. There's another call.
Yep, we got it up.
I love it. Do me just make sure everybody just speak up. Whoever's on the phone, you got it.
Yeah. One more time before we take the call. Range Music NYC or Range Music
Range Music NYC.com.
Yeah, who's speaking?
Who's
This
on the
is-
phone?
This is MixLab.
This is Bernie,
Hey,
aka
Sister
DJ
Love.
Sister Love. my
Bernie,
brother.
hi. We're just gonna ask you to speak up as much as you can so that our listeners can hear you. Okay.
I am almost yelling.
Good.
I am almost yelling. It is Bernie, aka DJ Sister Love.
Hi, Sister Love.
Hi, my brothers. How are you?
Good.
That's
Good.
good.
Ble-
Good, Bernie.
we are blessed and highly favored. Amen to that.
I
And
was blessed to meet the quiet, spirited gentleman that's closest to the camera at the Euphoria event.
Oh,
And
that's Paul. That's Paul. All right.
you know, it was such a pleasure meeting him. But you guys have me going back,
Thank you.
and I'm like stylists and all the places we used to go where we just, stood around, or we went to places on the Bowery where we had our own little place and headphones to listen
Yeah.
to the music.
Bernie, hold that
those
thought.
were the days.
No,
and then
no,
you're
yeah.
talking
no,
about, rock and soul.
Just
and,
want to tell them to call
and,
back.
Yes.
all these places I'm remembering, and I'm like, wow, my memory works a little bit.
Yeah,
So-
history. Yeah.
Awesome.
and
Yes.
and so I love this. It's a whole different language that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people consider me a new DJ. Back in the day, we did not have the technology that they have today. But there are a lot of us DJs out there, and for me, vinyl was the bomb. If you've never touched vinyl, if you've never
DJ'd. It was live music,
Different
on a vinyl.
For sure.
It was amazing. Yeah.
I loved it. I missed it. I stopped playing in 2000 because they started going to CD. I was like, those aren't DJs.
Well, you got to pick it back up and get in touch with rangemusicnyc.com, buy your vinyls, and pull out your turntables, start all over again.
Yeah, that's
I have turntables. I never got rid of them.
Good for you. Good for you.
To the collection.
And so DJ. So I know that you were just on this weekend, right? With Jason, right?
Euphoria.
Euphoria, Ghost Cat, and so and you're still spinning, very active. So being that we've got the vinyl guys here, you're gonna be getting some vinyl.
I guess so.
No pressure. To the side and look around.
I guess so. That's the way to go.
No pressure. No pressure.
And no sync button.
That's it.
There you go. Awesome.
And if you're into classic, there's a section for classics as well.
Yeah, a good section for classics.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we got a lot of calls coming in. We can't thank you enough for calling in, and we want to ask you to keep calling us as we do more shows. Every Tuesday right here. We got another call, so thank you so much for tuning in with us here today and for your comments. Thank you.
Sister Love, thank you so much, man.
Of course.
Keep spinning.
Good one.
Okay, man. Bye.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
We've got people are. So here's the deal. We've got a lot of callers coming in, which is great, except that we only have one line, and we need to get them one call at a time. So call us back, whoever was just calling us at 212-650. Can they say, Joey?
6903. Come on, you can't turn your neck around. Guys, while we
I'm not an owl.
While we go down memory lane, I'm going to be playing a video. It's just a slideshow of all of their accomplishments and the people. I don't want to wait for you. Show me love now. I don't want to wait for you. Make me warm now.
Tell us, Hiram's excited. He's got a lot of.
Make me warm now.
Bust out at the seams. Go ahead, brother.
There's so much to share.
That's
Very
why.
little time, so yeah, definitely we have to.
Yes, so do
this
it
again.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you how range music came about.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
How it originated, how it started, and
Go ahead, I'm listening.
don't tap the table.
Don't. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he see
Calm
good.
the excitement down.
He listens, man.
I tried to sing.
Hiram, cut it out. Well, Paul is the originator of the name range. He came up with it.
Why? Okay, you'll tell us why, but go ahead.
And
you go ahead.
And he always had a good how do you say it? Was always fond of that name range because it expands to it's endless lines traveling the universe.
Right.
It doesn't end.
There's a range.
So he tells Joe, take it and run with it. And that's how rangemusicnyc.com was created. And it became an online vinyl record store.
That's awesome.
With over 5,000 titles.
Okay. And thank you for that, because the fact was that was one of the questions. I always wondered why range, like why range music? I mean, kind of makes sense, your wide range of music, but we are as DJs. I don't want to wait for you. Yeah, show me love. DJs I don't want to wait for you.
Make me warm now. Make me warm now. Oh yeah. I don't want to wait for you.
Yeah, 9 points.
Show me love now. I don't want to wait for you. Make me warm now. Make me warm now.
Show me love now. I don't wanna wait for you. Make me.
The same track that I was playing. I was like, I forgot the name. I can't think of it right now, but it was funny. I was like,
but I pulled out the record. Yeah.
I was like, look at this guy. He was like a robotic kind of thing, you know.
Ace, we just want to ask you to, when you on the phone, just speak up as much as you can, only because we're having some internet stuff and we want people to our listeners to hear our callers. But
your love is better.
Yeah.
Huh? Louis Vega, your love is better.
I thought he was talking to me. I'm like, yo, dude, bro,
relax.
He's been hitting on me all day, man.
Yeah.
So, people, listeners, just really quickly, Ace, we call him Ace House Nation, is on the phone with us. Ace is
I don't wanna wait for you. Show me love now. I don't wanna wait for you.
He is also
make me warm now.
One of his greatest assets as well.
Make me warm now.
He has an amazing collection.
Oh yeah. I don't wanna wait for you.
Ace, what do you got?
Show me love now. I don't wanna wait for you. Make me warm now. Make me warm now.
There you go. Awesome, man.
That's right.
You got anything else coming up soon on the calendar?
Right now, no. I just, you know what? Now that I got you on the phone, it's about time we get you down to the cookie jar.
There you go.
There
you go.
And bring the vinyl.
I was gonna say, and bring vinyl, right? You want me to bring vinyl?
If you like to bring vinyl, go around ahead.
You know what? I'll go through my vinyl and I'll pull out a half a crate because yo estoy viejo. I can't carry a whole crate.
Ace, he's gonna come over with cassettes. Ace, he's gonna come over with cassettes.
To do the entire freaking show. What's going on here?
He's gonna come over with cassettes and 8-tracks.
That's awesome. You know what though? But that would be great. I've seen you do some amazing shows. I mean, I was like, I always say, like, I saw you had Tom Moulton, bro. I'm for people, so
twice.
Yeah. You've had a lot of people. You had Pinky there. You've had, I think, right? John Morales was there, right?
John Morales
John Morales has been there. Louis Vega's been there. Danny Cribb has been there.
Look at that. Yeah, Danny Cribb. I saw. Yeah.
He's been there.
A lot of big names. Yeah.
Jeremiah Santiago's been there. Joe has been there. Hiram's been there.
Amazing.
Been there.
So wait a minute. So you need to make it official. I need to get there. Has Jason been there?
John Morales been there.
Jason's been there.
Jason has been there.
I got everybody drunk there.
Yes, I remember.
Two other legends were at my house.
All right. Yo, guys, put away the handcuffs. I'm going. I'll go. Okay. All right. Stop. They're gonna drag my ass.
Two more legends were at the house.
Who's that?
And we mixed them dearly. One of them was Larry Levan.
Wow.
Go to the house with Hector.
Yep.
Back in the day.
Wow.
And David Mancuso.
Oh wow! I think
he lived across the street from me, so he used to come upstairs.
Amazing.
And eat dinner with us and listen to music.
So it's that thing, right? You get, like the Holy Grail. You gotta go and get the.
You know what? now that I think of it, a lot of great DJs, producers, songwriters, and influence in music. Like David influenced me in a lot of music. He taught me a lot, and so did Larry. I learned a lot from these guys. And I'm so happy and proud that they've been over to the house, man.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. I
got one complaint though.
What's that?
He's got a Vinyl Mania thing hanging on the wall.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Anyone in the entire world.
Yeah, you told me the story how you took that down from the awning, right, from the wall.
Yeah, I had to because nobody did. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna come over here.
They were gonna put it in the garbage.
Yeah, they were gonna right. So he did so good. But that is amazing. You know what? I'm honored for the invitation. Definitely would love to come on down and definitely just it'd be a blessing just to be there with you guys, and definitely an honor. So I thank you for that, bro. I really do.
I'll bring the tequila.
You're
Don't
very
worry.
welcome, man.
Yeah.
I'll go wide open for you guys.
You're awesome, man. So, yeah, we all, it's amazing. And again, people, so this is no joke. The MixLab every Tuesday from 6 to 8, and this is the caliber and quality of programming that we are featuring here. Thank you, Jason, for having this platform, for doing the MixLab. He had an idea, and he went from one level to the next, and he asked me to be a part of it, and I'm so grateful. And here we are, and we're just going to continue to do that. And I say that because, the people that we keep bringing in through these doors into the studio, like today we have Joey Gomez, Hiram Cruz, we have Paul Cruz, All Range Music NYC, on the phone Ace House Nation, a music DJ, sound system installation, and so knowledgeable, the knowledge that everybody that comes into us, that what they have, Jason too as well. I mean, we do video, we do a radio show, we're audio DJs, but you see us because Jason kicks ass in setting up the cameras and the technology, and he does it from remotely from location, from his house. Ace can install a sound system probably with his eyes closed, and we exaggerate, but it's the truth that like the information that you guys bring to us, the people that we've had coming in through these doors. And I say that for the listeners, that we ain't playing, we're not joking around, we're not playing, and this is quality professional stuff that we are really trying to let people know. And so Ace in the place. You're not part of the hardware store, right?
Ace Hardware.
I have a coupon for that.
Listen, we're all DJs, but we're all comedians, man. Yeah. We're all want to be comedians.
Listen, what we do need to do, Ace, is get you back in the station. Unfortunately, the last time you came, it was disastrous.
Right. We got to get him back in.
We had an issue with the internet, but it was really, really bad at that time.
And what's happening, too, is that so many people are coming through that we're doing the same. We're asking them back, but there's also so many people who we want to bring through. So the list is actually growing. So we need more shows. So you guys, tell us to give us 2-3 shows a week so we can get everybody on. But Ace, bro, thank you, brother.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome, brother. Blessing.
Appreciate you too. Guys, are you gonna play music, Joe? You guys, Hiram? Oh
no.
You know what's funny? Yeah, I thought about that too. But there's so much information between the three of them. Next time we'll get them do.
Absolutely. On the next one. 29.
Great. So let me sit back and learn some history.
There you go. But listen.
Next time they come, Ace, just bring your Rumble songs with you.
Right.
And we'll have an event over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna bag it all up in a little bag and open it
Oh yeah, but Ace, if you come up to the station, and even if you didn't, we 5 DJs in a room in a 2-hour show. That's like giving everybody 10 minutes on 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Well, Ace, love you, bro. Thanks for calling. We got another call coming in, bro. So keep it tuned in. Keep listening.
I will.
All right, peace.
Thank you for calling. It's the MixLab. Who's speaking?
It's Anthony.
Anthony. Social security number?
Anthony Rodriguez. What's
going on, Anthony?
Anthony.
What's up, brother? What's up?
What's up,
going
brother?
on? What's good?
Everything is good, brother. Thanks for calling.
Absolutely.
May 10th. Jason Rios.
Oh, yeah. May 10th, guys.
Yeah, plug it in.
May 10th.
And what are we saying May 10th? So everybody knows.
7 p.m. Kickoff at 245 Russell Street. We are celebrating Jason Rios and Eddie S's 60th.
Oh, they're
birthday.
joining the club, huh?
They're gonna join the club, yeah.
Again,
Join in the
tell
club.
us where again. There's so much going on. We're like multitasking here. So tell us again where. May 10th.
245 Russell Street. You come before 8 o'clock. You get
That's-
a free AARP card.
Or the senior discount.
See the discount.
That's the back in the Green Point, right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's back there. Yeah.
Yeah, we will be celebrating my birthday and Eddie S's birthday. We will have Rhythm playing with us as well.
Yes.
So you guys got to come on through, man.
Awesome. And now Anthony,
What's up, brother? How you doing, Lefty?
what's going on, man? Talk to us, bro. You're on the other side. We don't see you. We only hear you. So you got to talk to us, man, and speak up.
Yeah. I'm here at work,
Oh, you go. Okay.
and I'm in the office, so I'm just like listening to you guys. Really happy to see Paul Cruz and Hiram and Joe, yourself and Jason, and grateful to be on the line.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you. And we are too.
Thank
We're
you.
grateful to
Thank
have you,
for
man.
calling, man.
Thanks so much for calling, brother.
Yeah. Learning a lot from you guys. Thank you.
Ponte a trabajar. Make that money.
Awesome, bro.
Thanks for calling, brother.
All right, you got it.
Thank
All right,
you.
peace. Awesome. So we are amazing. So and here we are, Range Music, with so much information still at hand, and that's how exciting this is, people.
Yeah.
We were talking about the distributions, and we were talking about the vinyls. You've got your catalog. Tell us about your catalog. How big is your catalog? How many? You said 5,000 before, but I'm sure at this point it's
It's about closer to like 9,000
Okay.
titles. Yeah.
Nice.
now in that 9,000.
All brand new records. Yeah.
Oh, that was my next question. All brand new. When you say brand new in terms
See.
of style or in terms of
In style and
fresh press?
fresh. Yeah.
Yes.
Not no
Sealed copies.
Sealed
No
copies.
used copies. No.
What about reprints or classics? You do
There's
that
a
too?
section for that as well.
There's a whole section.
There's a whole section for reissued classics.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's on rangemusicnyc.com.
Right.
How is it? Do you have tabs? How is it broken down? And I'm trying to get as much information so that people.
I got it on. It's being displayed right now.
But as far as like the different departments, like if you're looking for like do you do R&B? No.
On the left side, you'll see the genres.
Oh, that's okay.
And
You do
then
genres.
you'll have 7 inches. There's a lot of new releases on 45 small 45s, 10 inches released, color vinyls, like you said, reissues. Like we had the E2 E4 reissue.
Okay.
All of the South Soul, West End, and Prelude stuff they've reissued.
Wow.
And then they've done the original versions and then the updated remix versions.
On the flip side?
On the flip side.
Okay.
They just did a remix of Evelyn Champagne King. They did a remix of.
Is that the one that was distributed? I think Brad LeBeau, who we'll be having back in the. He does promotions. I think he had.
I remember Brad too. He bought a lot of records from us at
Brad,
downtown.
Yeah, and Bobby Shaw also has some tracks a lot of tracks that he works on, and a lot of I saw remakes of songs.
Yeah, most of like we were saying before, a lot of the licensing was sold, like 2000, the late 90s, early 2000s to European markets, Japanese markets. So they have the rights to reissue them and repress them and remix them.
It's amazing.
So we get that. But like I said, there are also a lot of great new producers, new artists that are coming out with music. And in Italy, we have a great distributor, Mother Tongue. They've got I wouldn't say a stranglehold, but they've attracted like Ron Trent, Joe Closell, 10 Lovers Music, which is fantastic because it's dance music, it's jazz music, it's Brazilian music, the range of music
that
people would listen to.
That is beautiful.
And all new vinyl, new artists putting out great new music that is not being played on Spotify. Just like when we had the underground music back in the day. You didn't hear...
Right. You didn't hear it on the radio.
Right. You didn't hear a David Mancuso record until it broke somehow in the top 40.
Right.
So the same thing's going on now. You have all this great music, all these young vinyl DJs playing at all these vinyl listening bars and small clubs in Brooklyn and Manhattan.
Right.
They're breaking some of this music, and they have an ear for anything from a jazz influenced dance track which is what Larry and David used to do, and
Right.
Kenny Carpenter
Yeah,
used
yeah.
to do, to more of this experimental stuff that they're playing.
That's exciting to hear because at least you know that people are still in tune with just art, right? Originality, just that they that it's not just one track, one beat, that it's not just the same thing. It's like you start a party at 8 o'clock or at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It's now 5 a.m. and the beat hasn't changed.
One level, yeah.
Which
know,
is
the
digital kind of that's
the monotone.
They get into the whole. They
Follow
bought
the
the
beat,
tracks,
yeah.
and you can hear a digital track
Right.
pretty much run through the whole night.
Right.
And again, something like, it's hard to explain to the younger generation. Back then, DJs didn't just mix,
Right.
but they chose a certain record at a certain time of the
Right.
night,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
selected it. Yeah.
David Morales had he had an interview and he explained he talked exactly about that.
Yeah.
That you and I and we have the experience, right? Just says like DJ, if you worked at a club, you got there, if the club opened at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, whatever time they opened the floor or the doors to the public, you were there an hour before, getting yourself together, getting all your tracks in order, getting all set, making sure everything was fine, the sound, doing the sound check and all that good stuff. Even more time before that. You got on the turntables, the club went all night. It's now 4 a.m, and you're still on the turntables.
Yes.
One DJ, and I'm not, only say because that's the kind of skill.
That's not exaggerating. Is it?
That's not, and David Morales talked about that. How you didn't have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DJs, on a bill in one night.
Right.
And on top of that, the DJ took the audience on a musical journey. He brought them up. He brought them down. He made them sad. He made them happy. He made them, it was an emotional, you changed everything. It was an emotional feel, and it's not easy, reading the floor when they tell you read the floor, what's going on, right? So that is exciting to hear. I needed to ask about in your, when people log on to Range Music Range Music NYC. I'm very careful to make sure I get it right because I want everybody to get it right. RangeMusicNYC.com.
Yes.
If I'm looking for a record, you type in the search for the record. If it pulls up, is there a play? Is there a snippet? Can you hear?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Normally the tracks, if it's a single, you'll get 1 or 2 tracks. On the EPs, you'll get 3 to 4 tracks. The
Right.
LPs, the double LPs, you'll get a multitude of different things to listen to. And again, on genre side, there's on left column they can click on if it's Afro house, if it's just Afrobeat, if it's world music, if it's funkier, if it's soulful, if it's deep house, if it's tech house, if it's Brazilian jazz, different kind of things.
Wow.
They can filter it down to that too.
You guys are selling worldwide?
I ship everywhere in the world. Yes, we added.
Name
that.
some countries. Just.
I ship a lot of the domestic. NDATL Records is Kai Alcey's label in Atlanta. Puts out fantastic music. You have Sophisticato in Chicago, fantastic music, but we have it here cheaper than they have it there because it's domestically grown. So I ship to Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, Germany, Holland.
We could do
all over the place.
We could be here all night because the questions would be like, what are the highest rating countries that are ordering? Like where are your products going? Because that says a lot about where we are in the world and what people are listening to, right? The state of the mind and things like that. So, who's like top 3 countries? Quickly.
Top 3, U.S. of course now because we have stuff that most people don't carry. Japan and the U.K. are probably the 3 biggest vinyl markets right now.
That's amazing. And you talked about DJs. I'm just sending people who are asking, they want to call in. You talked about DJs and producers. Do you kind of like see some of these DJs or hear them and know that they're doing something and kind of like tap into like, hey, as far like, that support system, like, you're looking to.
There's definitely, like I said, the certain distributors that have the right music. For example, there are maybe 6 or 7 distributors I get music from in the UK, 3 or 4 in France. But homegrown, like I said, Kai Alcey, Joe Cosell and Sacred Rhythm, Vic Lavender is Sophisticato, and then they have artists that produce for them, that put out records on their label, and it's music, like you said, it was the underground back then that we were bringing to the forefront. For example, Journey to Powerline was an import we brought in, and now it's one of the top records that they play, in clubs.
Yeah,
the younger DJs. So
we got another call coming in.
Yeah, we got a call on the line. Who's speaking?
Hello, gentlemen. It's me, Rhythm.
Hey, Rhythm. Hello. How are you?
What's up?
I just wanted to call before the show closes out and say, thank you so much, for coming and blessing the MixLab. I know we had a little technical issues in the beginning, but we caught up real quick because the show is great.
Awesome.
I just wanted to say, thanks a lot, and I guess I'll be seeing you guys on May 10th.
May 10th for sure.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
Great party.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Rhythm, on May 10th, are you going to play digital or are you going to play vinyl?
Wait, I have to.
Mira, se puso gaga. Is that another call?
Yeah, we got another call. Thanks for calling, Rhythm.
Rhythm.
All right, guys.
Okay,
Good
bye.
night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rhythm. Oh.
Wait. All right, guys, if you can call back.
Call back.
212-650-6903.
Yes,
We got a few minutes left.
212-650-6903. And I'm loving these pictures, man. Look at all
Guys,
these great pictures.
We are almost out of time.
We got hundreds of pictures.
We need for you guys. I know you were sending me a lot. I was like, all right.
That's why I say on a transfer file.
Yeah, I know. We definitely would like to have you guys back. We got a lot more that we need to discuss. Sorry about the hiccup earlier today. The station did tell us that the internet was a little shaky, and we did go down for a while. I'll try to recoup as much as we can,
All right.
But I would definitely love to have you guys back.
Is there another call? Oh, no. Yeah.
But since you're here, we want to thank you guys for being here. So we want to give you guys a badge of honor for being here.
Oh, wow.
And appreciate you guys.
That is so awesome.
Oh,
So,
yes.
so
listen, on May 10th, you can use that pass.
There it is.
$5 off, right?
there it is. There it is again. I think someone's trying to call again.
Yeah. Thank you for calling the MixLab. Who's speaking?
Hey, Jason. This is Nancy. How are you?
Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Lefty.
Hi,
If
Nancy.
If no one told Lefty, like, you're the best interviewer in the world, I really enjoy you.
Oh, thank you so much. But you're not being biased, right? Because I kind of like you.
I absolutely enjoy listening to you and your questions. And most of all, I enjoyed the 3 gentlemen you have there today.
Thank you.
That is organic.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I love every minute. And I know you guys got to go.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just didn't want to not say good hello and good night and much success to you guys.
Well, you know what's funny?
And we appreciate you.
Say hi to Paul. Say hi to Hiram. Say hi to Joey.
I met 2. I think Paul and Hiram at the Nickisiano party.
Yes.
Nickisiano. Yes.
Very good. Awesome. Yes, you did, man.
Yes,
So
they're my friends already. Not you.
she's the best. She's the best.
All right, guys, have a blessed evening, and you guys, much success. Keep going, and hopefully we'll get to see you again on the MixLab.
May 10th. May 10th.
Yep.
I really enjoyed this show.
We got a party May 10th.
Yes, el toro.
Yeah, el toro, yeah.
Yeah, el toro.
And today is Hiram's birthday.
Oh, yeah, right. Today's Hiram's birthday, right.
Birthday today.
Happy birthday, Hiram.
Hey, wait. Let's do this right.
Thank you so much.
You guys ready?
Awesome. So Nancy, what were you saying? You were saying, El Toro, the party. Today's Hiram's birthday. You were saying.
Because, it's Hiram's birthday and Jason Forrest, el toro.
Oh, el toro. There you go.
The horns are here. The horns are here.
Here comes the bull. So Nancy, honey, so why don't you chime in with us on 3? We're going to sing happy birthday. Ready? One.
Yeah, absolutely.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
She's singing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hiram. Happy birthday to you.
That was so
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Thank you.
We won't ask how old are you now.
Another year.
Many more years to come, Hiram.
Yes.
Thank
Good
you
night,
so
guys.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, honey.
Bye, love.
You're awesome.
Okay, talk to you later.
Okay, wait. She's the best. She's the best. Oh, we got it. But you know what? This is what it's about, you know. And you guys, we all came face to face. Nikki Ciano party.
Yes.
And
Nicky
so
Ciano.
great. Yeah.
Yeah,
To
we got
see
some
you
great
guys.
pictures from that party as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
We're trying to get him here
Lefty.
too, Nikki,
Yeah.
onto
Nikki.
the show.
Let me just sorry.
Yeah, no, please,
Piggyback
Paul.
on something that
Yeah,
he
because
said
you talk too
about
much.
about the music, going to other countries. So this was the early '90s at East Third Street Loft, and Dave Mancuso.
Where?
East Third Street
East Third.
Loft.
Yes, the dance,
Ace-
not dance track.
No.
Yeah,
Loft.
the
Ace lives right
loft.
across the street.
East Third Street Loft.
So
yeah, right.
there was
I'm
these
sorry.
Japanese people from Europe, and then somehow somebody told them about me. So they were like, "Yo, what's the name of this record?" And Dave called me.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Listen, do me a favor, Paul. Do not, divulge the record to these people because in 10 years they're gonna come back, they're gonna buy everything, and then we're gonna have to buy it back from them."
Wow.
This was in
This is-
91.
Wow.
Thank
This
God-
is already
Thank God Shazam
Yeah.
wasn't around that
No,
time.
none of that.
Yeah.
So
Really?
he saw me.
He was-
They were all coming at me, and I didn't mind,
yeah,
writing the names down.
Right.
And then,
Because we were proud,
he just-
we were excited.
But he wasn't
Yeah, man,
thrilled with
pulled
that.
them over.
Wow.
He
Do me a
Listen,
favor, don't
yeah.
divulge
You know-
no information.
Yeah.
as
our
Ryan.
our veterans, our guys that we shared experience. Frankie Ramos was another one. He was
Yes.
very and he looked out for you, and he told you the
Yeah.
ins and outs. And he told
Yes.
but the best part about it is that he told you at the right time. There was like what you just
Yes.
shared. David Mancuso, Eddie Rivera for me did the same thing. Eddie Rivera was my mentor, right? And being at the record pool, and I shared how he put me at the helm to talk to all the record labels, and I'm like, but Eddie, I don't know anybody. He says, don't you worry about it. And he told me what to say and when to say it, and it was very, because of those people is why we are
Yeah,
here
with the
sitting all
knowledge, yes.
today. The
Yeah.
knowledge, man. So
And then David said it in a nice way. He didn't like make a scene. He just called me to the side.
Yeah.
Listen, and then later on, he apologized. He said, "I didn't mean to be hard, but this is very, very
Yeah, yeah.
important.
It's very
to me, very, very
important.
important.
No,
to me.
and
When
it
I'm
really
playing exclusive
is.
stuff, and it's not fair for these guys
Right.
to
And
just
it's-
get like a
and it's
free
true.
ride."
And it's true. They would have probably done that.
yeah. Wow, we are, so much information that I've got so many questions, man. But we're at
Out
that
of
point,
time.
and so why don't you guys tell us what we need to hear or what the people should know? Like for me, is there another vinyl sampling day? Is there another event? Are you guys looking into maybe having a brick and mortar?
Yes.
Idea
Because
of-
everything
of
is
a-
so
of a
expensive. But
record
we're
store.
looking at some spots. Yeah.
Speaking of expenses, what kind? And we have to be honest, so people know because it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
What kind of range?
There you go.
No pun.
Everything's imports now.
No pun
Everything's
intended.
imports.
What kind of range are we looking at as far as pricing and vinyls?
Right now, the least expensive vinyl, of course, are the domestic, like they used to be, but they're not $2.99 anymore.
Unfortunately,
they
yeah.
average around $13-14.
Okay,
A single.
all right.
The-
But it is vinyl, and
Yeah, it's yours forever.
with that said too, wow, so all the questions spin a million times, in my head as you're answering, as I'm asking, I've got other questions that keep popping up. Does equipment come into play with you guys as far as vending, or are you guys that'll be a part of you maybe to sell equipment, or maybe later down the road?
road. I mean, again,
Sold a couple of mixers and
turntables,
Yeah.
are
Turntables.
very expensive. We did have in stock some small mixers,
rotary, of course.
rotary mixers.
You see, but that's
Yeah,
because and people, listeners, they
Isolators
say
as well.
rotaries because DJs, it's a technology. It's like it's the Maserati of
Yeah.
mixers for us, right?
Yeah.
It's the you know, the appreciation of a true artist, right? So that's the kind of equipment. Jason, you know, forget it. He goes. It's all about tech, you know. It's all about good equipment and working off good stuff, and you know, no joke. And don't even talk about some of the cheesy stuff. What's the turnaround time on shipping? It depends upon the country, or you know, what do people look at? If I order,
you order it normally in within the United States, it's within 3 days from the order date to when they get in the house.
Right.
If you're local, Jersey, New York, Connecticut, this area, post office has been really good. A day and a half.
That's because they got a lot of competition. They better
2 days tops domestic. You know?
They better be good.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Turnaround is pretty quick.
You're talking about USPS, right?
USPS,
not Amazon, because they'll leave it at my front desk, and Lefty will be there waiting for them,
You
and
got
they'll take it. You know,
Right. Because
where's my albums? Lefty got it.
Because
outside the vestibule.
That's because he has that what's that? What do you call that? That ring camera. So he sees me all the time. Every time I'm leaving, he's like, "Yo, where you taking my records? That's not me. That's not me, bro. That's not me. That's not me." You guys have been awesome, Paul and Hiram. Happy birthday, Hiram! Once again, bro.
Thank you.
Awesome. And so again, and Joey, you and I, we're gonna hang, bro. I miss you, bro. You know, back in the day.
Like I said, you look the same.
Yeah,
you look the same. You look the same.
We had a, and the thing is, so Albert too. We had the record shop downtown, but right next door was they sold cookies.
Oh, yes.
So our store always smelled like cookies,
Chocolate
man,
chip
and
cookies.
coffee, and so we not only we sold records, but of course back in the day, so we had a serious case of the munchies.
The back room.
The back room.
Well, guys, the time has come.
Oh man, we didn't even talk about Carlos de Jesus, the experience I had there with him.
Listen, guys, I gave you guys a couple of dates. If you guys consider any of them, let me know right away, and we'll get you in right away.
Jason, we got to figure out a way to do an event that kind of will bring all of our guests together all at once.
Yeah, that's
good. Something that would be really insightful in that way. So we will definitely put our heads together. You guys have been awesome. I wish we had like 10 more hours. Yeah, we're scratching the surface.
Or even an extra hour.
Yeah, and and I gotta say, Paul, tú habla mucho.
Let him get the. I haven't gotten to.
Yeah. You guys have been amazing, and please come back. Come back. Thank our listeners, all our callers, and you can see the enthusiasm of all our callers.
Wonderful.
How exciting! So where are we?
Guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. It's Jason Rios and Lefty Hernandez.
Man, I'm Lefty Hernandez.
WHCR 90.3 FM.
With Paul Cruz, Hiram Cruz, and Joey Gomez from RangeMusicNYC.com.
And you are tuned in to the Voice of Harlem.
The Voice of Harlem MixLab. He cut me off.
The incredible WHCR 90.3 FM, the Voice of Harlem.